You buy one new pair of sneakers, maybe they're those crisp white designer ones you've seen everywhere. You put them on, look in the mirror, and suddenly your favourite pair of jeans looks like they belong in a landfill. They're too baggy, the wash is wrong, and they just don't match the vibe of the shoes. So you go out and buy new jeans. But now your old t-shirts look faded next to the denim. Then your hoodie looks cheap. Before you know it, a $150 pair of shoes has triggered a $2,000 wardrobe overhaul. My name is Ian, and I obsess over the hidden psychological triggers that keep the middle class broke. What you're experiencing isn't just shopping, it's a 200-year-old trap called the Diderot Effect. It is a biological glitch in how your brain perceives identity, and it is the single biggest reason why people with high salaries still have zero net worth. To understand why your bank account is bleeding, we have to go back to 18th century France. Denis Diderot was a brilliant philosopher, but he was perpetually poor. That changed when the Empress of Russia heard of his financial struggles and bought his library for a massive sum. Suddenly, Diderot had cash. One of his first purchases? A gorgeous scarlet silk robe. It was the most beautiful thing he had ever owned. But beauty has a price. Once Diderot sat in his study wearing the scarlet robe, he noticed his old wooden chair looked tattered. It didn't fit the elegance of the silk, so he bought a new leather chair from Morocco. Then he noticed his desk was scarred and cheap, so he bought a premium writing table. Then he needed new rugs, new mirrors, and new paintings. He replaced his entire life to match one piece of silk. He famously wrote an essay titled "Regrets on Parting with My Old Dressing Gown," where he said, "I was absolute master of my old robe. I have become the slave of the new one." Why does this happen? It's not just lack of willpower. Your brain thrives on identity consistency. We don't just buy things for their utility, we buy them to tell a story about who we are. When you introduce a high-status item into your environment, it creates cognitive dissonance. Your brain sees the mismatch between the new premium you and the old average stuff around you. To resolve that tension, your brain demands that you upgrade everything else to maintain the narrative. Retailers are masters of this. It's why IKEA shows you entire rooms instead of just a lamp. They want to trigger the Diderot effect by showing you a cohesive identity that you can't achieve by buying just one piece. They aren't selling furniture, they are selling a standard of living that requires constant, cascading purchases to maintain. In the 21st century, the scarlet robe has been replaced by the smartphone, the tech spiral. You buy the new high-end smartphone, now you need the magnetic case. Then you need the wireless charging stand. Then you realize your old laptop is too slow to sync properly, so you upgrade the computer. Suddenly, a $1,000 phone has turned into a $4,000 tech ecosystem. The home spiral. You decide to just replace the kitchen faucet with a sleek gold-finished one. Now the sink looks dated. You replace the sink, and the old countertops look like trash. You replace the countertops, and now the cabinets look ancient. A $200 DIY project becomes a $15,000 renovation. The car spiral. You buy the luxury SUV. Now you can't just park it in a messy garage, so you organize and paint the garage. You can't wear your old gym clothes while stepping out of a premium vehicle, so you buy a luxury athleisure wardrobe. This is how people with six-figure incomes stay paycheck to paycheck. They aren't buying things they need, they are frantically trying to keep their environment consistent with the most expensive thing they own. The 1% understand something the middle class ignores. Every possession has a carry cost. A car doesn't just cost the monthly payment, it costs the insurance, the premium fuel, and the identity upgrades that come with it. A larger house doesn't just cost the mortgage, it costs the furniture to fill the empty rooms and the landscaping to match the neighborhood. When you buy a dominant item, the robe, you are inviting a ghost into your house that will demand more sacrifices. The wealthy avoid the spiral by being hyper-intentional about the first domino. They ask, if I buy this, what else will I be forced to buy to make it look right? If the answer is a cascading list of upgrades, they walk away. To defeat the Diderot effect, you have to stop being a consumer and start being an owner. Here is the tactical roadmap. 1. The one-in, one-out rule. If you buy a new premium item, you must sell or donate the item it replaced immediately. This prevents the collection from growing and forces you to face the reality of the cost. 2. Avoid the gateway purchase. Recognize the dominant items in your life.
If you can't afford to upgrade the entire room, don't buy the hero piece of furniture that will make everything else look bad. 3. Find value in disharmony. Be okay with having a nice computer on an old desk. Wealthy people are comfortable with mismatched status. They would rather have a $10 million portfolio and a 10-year-old car than a $1,200 car payment and a $0 savings account. 4. Buy growth machines. Instead of spending to match your lifestyle, spend to match your future. Every time you feel the urge to upgrade a perfectly functional item, take that money and buy an asset, stocks, real estate, or a business. Diderot's mistake wasn't buying the robe, it was letting the robe define his environment. The bank loves the Diderot effect because it turns savers into borrowers. It keeps you running on the legendary mode treadmill, where you work harder just to buy things that make you feel like you've made it, while your net worth stays at zero. You don't need to live in a cave, but you do need to understand the map. Don't be the slave to the new robe. Be the master of your assets. Shift your focus from how much do I make to how much do I own. Stop buying things to impress people who are also stuck on the same treadmill. Build the foundation first. Be patient. I'm Ian. Don't be broke. See ya.